Hey everybody, it's Wendy from Budget Pumpkin, and today we are going to do a budget with me. This is going to be the first one of 2023 that you guys are seeing. I did one and then I accidentally deleted the recording. So we're just going to start from here and move forward. So if that's something that you want to see how we budget our money, please hang around. Hello and welcome to Budget Pumpkin. My name is Wendy and welcome to my channel. On this channel, we're going to talk about things like budgeting, cash stuffing, planning, dealing with debt, savings challenges, and everything that you could want to know about budgeting. And you're going to be with me on my journey to become debt-free. So if this is something that you want to look into, please tap subscribe and like and comment on this video, and thank you for being here. Hey, how is everybody doing? I hope everyone had a good new year. I was able to take a little bit of time away, which was actually really nice, and I am excited to be back and be budgeting again. So first things first, this is for our January 13th paycheck, and we're actually covering from January 15 bills through January 31 bills. So this check is going to cover the second half of the month of January. The first half of January we actually covered with our paychecks from December 30th. So we are 1/2 of a month ahead. If you're new here, first of all, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you for keeping watching. But my husband and I are bi-weekly paid employees, and we are paid on the same days. So we have a week that we get income and a week that we don't. So that's how I budget my money. I know that there's other channels that are paid different ways and they can budget differently, but this is just how we work on it here. The first thing that I like to do is I like to make sure that I know what 1/2 of a month of bills is going to be. I use a box system. So we have box 1 for our income, number 2 is bills, 3 is any kind of debt and credit cards, 4 is for subscriptions, number 5 is for sinking funds that we keep in the bank, and then number 6 is for sinking funds that I withdraw in cash, and then I cash stuff those. This box down here is like a little reconciliation box where we can kind of make sure everything adds up. And then up here is my notes box, and usually I put in what 1/2 of a month is. So we have box number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. I do have a basic budget. I did post a video about that for 2023, what our budget was going to be, at least for the first few months, until we can see what my husband's paychecks are going to be like. He left his job that he was at the end of 2022, and he has now started a new job. And so we are going to kind of go a couple months of this budget and see. So 1/2 of a month is, for box number 2 is $1,228. Number 3 is $1,000. Number 4 is $172. $200 for number 5. $800 for number 6. And the total of that is $3,400. Now I base our budget on us each bringing home a paycheck that's about $1,700 every other week. So his check from his new job, so he actually took a week off. So his last day at his old job was Christmas Eve, and then he took that next week off, and he didn't start until like January 3rd. So he has like a partial check from his new job. So that was $953.18. He did get some money left from his old job. I think they put in for some holiday pay. He got $150.21. And then my job, I got a pretty regular check, $1,761.27. And then I had to because he was shortish, I pulled income that we'd saved of $1,700 to put into this budget. This is money that we'd saved because I knew he was taking that week off. And I put it into this budget. We did have a little bit of overspending. We did have a lot of medical bills that we had to pay. It seems like, you know, we're finally have, you know, decent jobs and good health insurance, and we still have medical bills that we just had to pay because now we're like going to the doctor and, you know, blood work and this and that. So we have to pay for those kinds of things. Plus last year, my husband had 2 eye surgeries, you know, and other things that we had to take care of. So we're paying extra on that. So $4,564.66 is the total. And I color code. So our income, I color green. Usually I color before. And this is my budget sheet. This is available in my Etsy shop in a 6-pack with some other sheets as a digital download for you. It has a calendar, a blank calendar page. It has 3 pages that I call discovery pages. So for all 6 boxes, there's 2 boxes on a page. So like what you're spending in a month, what you want to kind of put in that box. And then I have a monthly budget worksheet and a paycheck cash flow worksheet. So those are available as a digital download at my store, BudgetPumpkinStudio. You don't have to color things in. I color things in because color helps my brain work, I've found. And I just need to make sure my brain works for our budget. So bills are blue. Our income is green. Let's see. Credit cards are pink. And then I color here, and then I also color down here. Why I do this, I don't know. It just makes sense to me. You can use the sheets without highlighting on them. Subscriptions are purple. And sinking funds that go stay in the bank are yellow. And then orange for sinking funds that we pull out and cash stuff. So that usually my next video, I usually make sure that I do my budget with me video, and then I'll do my cash stuffing video. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to look at the calendars. So we're taking the money from this payday, and we've already covered through the 15th of the month from our paycheck that was December 30th. So from the 16th until the 31st. So from then we have a car payment was due on the 16th. And that is $300. I don't know if you hear my dog, I apologize. He likes to, you know, guard the world. And then the only other bill that we have to pay on the 25th is our mortgage. And that's $1,100. Now this is where the cash flow comes in. So this totals, these 2 bills total $1,400. But I'm only paying I've only budgeted $1,228. If we look at our monthly budget, so this is our monthly budget. I didn't color it in, but these are all the things that we have due. This is last pay. So last paycheck, I saved $173 because I knew that I had to hit this $1,228 for a half of a month of bills, and I need that $173 here. Actually, it's $172. So I'm pulling that out of my savings because I've saved it. If I wouldn't have saved this money and if I would have spent this money, I would be short this paycheck for my bills. So that's why I saved it. Our total here is $1,228. Credit cards, we actually don't have any that are due. Credit card number 7 is paid off. Credit card number 8 is paid off. Credit card number 9, we closed. We paid that off, we closed it. And credit card number 10 is also paid off. So we actually don't have any credit cards that we have to pay out of this check. All of our credit card payments are in the first half of the month. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this money, and it's actually going to go towards February. So I always like to write them on here. So 118, we have 2 credit cards, and then 130. So credit card number 7, credit card number 8, and credit card number 10. This reminds me that I need to check because I don't have these credit cards on auto withdrawal or auto payment from my bank to make sure at least the minimum payment is made. So if we do charge anything, like I try to keep like our Amazon purchases or something that I need a credit card, I try and put it on these credit cards and keep them paid off. So this reminds me that I need to pay by this date if we have anything on here. The way that I use credit cards in the system while we're trying to pay off debt is if something goes on a credit card, I will deposit the cash back in the bank. So if I put $40 worth of gas in my car and I use my credit card instead of using cash and going inside, I'll put that cash back in the bank and make sure that gets paid on my credit card. So we're not accruing debt with our normal everyday spending. We're able to focus on clearing down our debt. Now, there are some things that we have created debt for recently, mostly medical bills and the car accident I was in last year. We're still waiting on reimbursements for the car accident. So stuff like that, it is on the credit card, and we are paying interest on it because we don't have a choice at this point. But this is box number 3, and we should have $1,000. So I am going to put to save for next check. $1,000. So this category is $1,000. So I have $1,000 from this paycheck sitting in the bank waiting, because when next check comes around, we're going to have to pay $2,000. And you'll see this here. This is like last check, but all these credit card payments come out and they add up to $2,000, and I had to pull $1,000 that I'd already saved for that purpose for the half of a month. Saving money like this, in my opinion, it makes the cash flow easier. But again, if I would have spent this $170 some on my last check, I would be short this check. If I don't save this $1,000 and I spend it, I'm going to be short for next check. So it's important to look at your cash flow and not just what comes in and out of your bank account. If you are not a month ahead on your bills, if you're a month ahead on your bills, which for us, I'm using my magic months to get ahead. Magic months are where you have an extra paycheck. So in December, we had 3 paychecks. The next magic month we're going to have, if you're paid, so my paycheck was January 13th. The one before that was December 30th. So if you're paid those same days bi-weekly, our next magic month is in June of 2023. So then I will be able to take the first check of June to pay for the second half of June, And then the last 2 checks in June are going to be for July's bills. Now, once we get a month ahead, it's going to make more sense, and we're not going to have to worry about the cash flow as much. But until we're there, we're not there on our budgeting journey yet. So that's a really big goal of mine, is to get a month ahead, because then we'll be able to look at the whole month in its entirety and see, okay, this is what we brought in, this is what we have to spend, this is the extras, this is the extra debt we're doing. And it's just kind of a little bit tedious until we get there. So hopefully you'll stick around and watch the progression, because I think it's going to be really, really cool. For subscriptions, $172 per paycheck. This is, I've done the budget with me, but this has stuff like our Costco membership. We did get like Hulu Live. We kind of did a little analysis. My husband likes to watch sports, and we would go to the bar and watch sports, and then we would spend extra money. And while having a date night is cool, we were spending way more at the bar than if we just had gotten Hulu Live. We got a deal for Hulu Live. It was like Hulu Live, Disney Plus, and I think ESPN Plus, and it's like $69.99 a month. So it includes like stuff like that, anything that we pay for, like Spotify or whatever, is right here. So that's $172. Sinking funds. So for this check on our sinking funds, our driver's license and our car plates, I put away $30 per month for those. And then other, so in this category, it's 170. In this category, I'll put away stuff for like, I have money in the bank for like some for car maintenance. We have a dog, so out of this category, like we will buy his dog food or pay for vet visits. So these are things that we keep in the bank. I did add in here to our buffer. So our buffer is, I put 64.66. That's just like a buffer is like a little bit of extra money in your checking account. So in case something happens or something pulls out or something's a little bit more than you expected, there's a little bit of money sitting there, just to kind of make sure you don't overdraw your account. I think that's important, especially if your budget is super tight, and maybe you know, like an emergency happens and you don't have a credit card. So maybe you blow a tire or something. Those are sinking funds for that, but I have one specifically for it's like the oddball change. And then medical and overspending. That's total is $800. We did pretty good, our overspending. Most of what we overspent on, I bought things for Budget Pumpkin, like craft supplies. So I'm going to have some binders come to the workshop. I like, this is my husband's binder, but I like this type of binder better. I'm enjoying that more than this type. So I've actually bought some to, list in the shop. I got some cool paper where I've got some envelopes, and they're just like fun one-off envelopes for you to use for things like, like maybe your kid's baseball, or you're on a softball league, your yoga class. It can be even used like if you want to buy tickets to the football or basketball or baseball game. This one, you're going to see this one in my binder, because I love this. Like, I'm a total pen addict. One's for birthdays, date night, travel, and maybe girls trip or family vacations. I bought these because like I want to put some flowers out front this year, so I want to save a little bit for our yard. My husband just likes camo. I got that for him. Music, like maybe a music class or piano lessons or anything like that for you or for your, if you have kids. So a lot of new stuff is coming to the shop. So that was a bit of that. And then the rest of it was medical. Like I said earlier, my husband had to have emergency eye surgery in October. He had to have eye surgery in November. I've been having some health issues. I've been going to the doctor, getting tested. They're trying to figure out my life. So all told, and we have to make payments to the hospital. Like your insurance doesn't cover everything. You have to pay copays and stuff. So while we're trying, like in our other category, I also put away a little bit of money for medical, and we are both now contributing like $50 per paycheck to our medical, like the medical spending. So that'll help the medical overspending as well. But we did have to pay on some stuff. So our total for this category is $1,064.66. So, and you know me, I'm not good at math. I have the sheet over here, so what I'm looking at. Okay. Down here in our sinking funds. So, gas and groceries. I have a lot to put in this box. So we do $300 every 2 weeks for groceries and $200 every 2 weeks for gas. So all that added together is $500. We're holding fast. Our budget for gas has been $200 or $100 a week for quite a while. When we made the new budget for the new year, I raised the grocery budget by $50 a week. We were $100 a week. Now we're $150 a week because we kept blowing the grocery budget, but and we're trying to eat less expensive foods, but we still have to eat, and it's the cost of food has gone up quite a bit. So I had to make that adjustment in our budget. Our spending money for him and me, we get $100 per pay for each of us, and then this pay we did have enough extra. So our deal is if we have enough extra, I'm gonna go ahead and give us each an extra $50. So he did work over. I've been working overtime. It doesn't really show it. It didn't really show up my paycheck because it was almost normal, but I've actually been working some extra hours lately, so it's kind of like it's nice to have just a little bit extra. So we each get $150, so that's a total of $300. Date night, $100. So we decided that this year, this wasn't on last year's categories. This year we wanted to prioritize our date night. We wanted to prioritize our time together in our relationship, which I think is very important. So we put $100 in there. Usually it's like we go out to eat or we go do something fun. So $100 for the 2 weeks. Our debt challenge gets $50. So this is money that we're paying above and beyond the money up here. Now, these are minimum payments, but I also do have extra money allocated up here because I want to pay our credit cards off faster. I have a goal of paying off all of our debt by like January of 2025. So we've got 2 years to pay off all this debt. So I do have extra money above and beyond the minimum payments allocated here, but I wanted $50 here. Now, this money in the debt challenge, I may use it to pay off credit cards, but I also may use it to pay off medical debt. It just kind of depends on what we've got going on. And then our holidays. So that's our holiday envelopes that I cash stuff. So Christmas is $100. Thanksgiving gets $10. New Year's Eve gets $30. And then Easter, Halloween, and 4th of July each get $5. I've already put $5 into Easter this month. So Halloween gets $5, and the 4th of July gets $5. Add these all up, That is $150 for holidays, which makes this total $1,100. So if we take all these numbers and we put them down here, so 45, 64, 66 in income minus 1228 for our bills, that leaves us with 3336.66 minus $1,000 for our credit cards is $2336.66, minus $172 for our subscriptions. That leaves us with $2164.66 minus $1,064.66 for our sinking funds. Leaves us with $1,100. And then this box is $1,100. So that leaves us with $0. So our total expenses are $4,564.66. We balance out to $0. We run a zero-based budget where every dollar has a purpose, or every dollar has a job, every penny has a purpose. So I like to account for all of our money. We don't necessarily really have like a slush fund. So this is what our budget is for the month, or not the month, for this week. This will carry us through the end of January. And in our next video, we are going to be cash stuffing these sinking funds right here for $1,100. So thank you for staying with me. If you are a new subscriber or visitor, please consider subscribing. Thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone who has already subscribed and continues to watch. I'm super happy to share my journey with you, and I'm glad that you're here as my accountability partner. So have an awesome day.